Welcome back to FulcoLibrary Presents the Library Access. During the month of June, we have celebrated summer reading, Father's Day, and Pride. As we wrap up today's program, it's important that we learn about one of the most historic moments in American history that happened on June 19, 1865, the day that all African Americans in the United States were officially free. So the subject is Juneteenth. Now a federal holiday in the United States is commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. Let's learn more about this historic day through art performances, crafts, and book recommendations.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Jerry G. White, and I'm here at the Northside Library for the inaugural Juneteenth celebration for Fulton County, I suppose. And so my program was Juneteenth Breaking Ground. And the Juneteenth Breaking Ground brings in place whereby I go from doing libations from the mother country to George Washington Carver, to Bass Reeves, to Tuskegee Airmen, to Satchel Paige. And it tells a story about how these men broke ground to achieve that they did to help the America as well. So that's how I parlayed Juneteenth, which was, the celebration, they call it on Freedom Day of 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by President Abraham Lincoln. A lot has not been told, but there was troops for the Union also went down to Galveston, Texas. President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862. Word got down to Galveston, Texas, a little peninsula in Texas, that all were enslaved 2 years later. Hence how we get June 19th, 1865, for it to be called as Juneteenth or Freedom Day, 2 years after Emancipation Proclamation. And so with Alex Johnson, some of you guys may have heard of the movie called Glory with Denzel Washington. Well, the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, some of those members of that troop and some other members went down to Galveston as well, who were there when General Granger read General Order 3, letting those people know that they have been freed for 2 years. And then if you go from Galveston, you went down to Fort Brown, to Harlingen and Brownsville, Texas, and then you make your way up to San Antonio. And that's how I always like to say how the West was won to become the Buffalo Soldiers. So you guys should check out the Fulton County Library website, because besides the Juneteenth programming, you'll also find Ocean of Possibilities programs going on as well. So good things are happening in your library. Check it out. And all of my shows, as far as I know, all of the teaching artists that you find in your library systems are interactive. So for my Ocean of Possibility shows, and even with the show, I have percussion instruments. I try to tell especially the children, that I have some good news and bad news. What you see behind me is decoration, and they look at me like I've lost my mind, but I say, I'm just kidding. Everything is touchable, everything is interactive, because that way I can give a drum lesson on a slide wheel as well, so parents won't think that drums are just noisemakers. But once I give them how to know the beat, rhythm, and syncopation, and then we get everybody up to dance. So everybody gets up to dance. So interactive is what you want. Interactive is always good. And I always have a book that I bring associated with my program as well. So I have a book about Civil War, have a book about George Washington Carver, have a book about Satchel Paige. So I always like Romare Bearden. I know you guys heard about Romare Bearden, Little Dan the Drum Boy. So I always have a book in my hand as well to bring it full circle about being in a library and having these interactive programs. So check out the website, and I'd like to thank Fulton County for bringing me. And if you guys want to find any more about me, you can go to my website. It's performancemethod.com. And I'm Jerry G. White.
Hi, I'm Meredith Latta, the Children's Librarian here at East Atlanta Library, and today I'm going to share with you a Juneteenth flag craft that we are offering for pickup on June 21st. It's a Tuesday. We're closed for Juneteenth, so we'll see you on Tuesday to pick this up. The kit has everything you need, all the pieces. All you would need is glue or tape. That works too. So it's a very, very simple craft. You've got your blue sheet of paper here. Just add the red. And then we're going to do the starburst outline. Very simple. And this starburst outline represents a nova, or a brand new star. And this is supposed to symbolize a new beginning for all of the African American slaves that were freed as part of Juneteenth, or Freedom Day. Like that. And then we have our last piece, the star. And this star represents Texas and the freedom of all African Americans in all 50 states. And there you go, really simple. And it's a red, white, and blue flag because this is symbolizing American flag, but it's a reminder that all African Americans were and are Americans. So that's why we have a red, white, and blue Juneteenth flag. We also have a few books here for you to check out. This one is The History of Juneteenth. And then we also have this one here, Let's Celebrate Emancipation Day, which is another name for Juneteenth, or Freedom Day. So come by East Atlanta branch, pick up a Juneteenth flag kit. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you for joining our show segment. This segment is for the month of June in support of celebrating and honoring the historical legacy of Juneteenth. Presented by the College Park Library. The 19th of June changed the history of the United States and affected millions of people. It was the day that so many generations of enslaved people had waited for. Juneteenth celebrates the end of slavery in the United States. It is also known as Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Juneteenth Independence Day, and Black Independence Day. On June 19, 1865, Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced the end of the Civil War and the end of slavery. Although the Emancipation Proclamation came 2.5 years earlier on January 1st, 1863, a lot of Black people were still captive after the announcement. So Juneteenth is an important day for African American freedom. Here's a fun fact. Did you know Juneteenth officially became the 11th federal holiday on June 17, 2021? How amazing is this? Here you will see a display of a fantastic bundle of books for youth, including everything you need to know about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a time for reflection, education, and most importantly, celebration. These ready for checkout Juneteenth books are perfect for teaching students about the importance of June 19th and will inspire them to learn more about this historical event. All of these books are available within the Fulton County Library System. So we have Juneteenth, our Day of Freedom, the history of Juneteenth. All different now, Juneteenth, the first day of freedom, and Freedom Gifts, a Juneteenth story. Here are some more suggestions for you to explore at your local library. This is a display for all ages, youth, young adults, and adults. we have Free at Last, a Juneteenth poem. Hidden Black History, from Juneteenth to Redlining. The Story of Juneteenth, an interactive history adventure. Come Juneteenth. Island of Color, where Juneteenth started. Juneteenth, a celebration of freedom. Juneteenth, a day to celebrate freedom from slavery. On Juneteenth. And lastly, Juneteenth, a novel. And let us not forget our A through Z resources that we have available on our library website. If you would like to know more information about Juneteenth, please check out some of our online resources platform. We have the African American History Online Database, American History Database, Historical Black Newspaper Database, and also E-Read Kids Database. And all of this is available at your local library.
Thank you for joining me on FulcoLibrary Presents Library Access. Make sure to join us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at FulcoLibrary, and visit us at FulcoLibrary.org. I'm your host, Rachel Sanders, and I'll see you next time.